Chaffetz, I guess, because they feel like because of his past that he. By the way, he was acquitted for that, right? So, and it's interesting how people want to condemn him for his past that he was found not guilty of, and yet they they want to keep him from making a living because if you're found not guilty, then you weren't guilty, right? But you know how that goes, right? But is that true? I had not heard that they were trying to make that happen. And also read today, and maybe you knew this because I did not know this. By the way, welcome to our YouTube audience. Uh, the Martin Show back in the day. Did you know that Cole, the guy who played Cole, and Martin Lawrence actually hated each other? Did you ever read that? I never read that anywhere. How did I miss that? Is that true? I saw that on social media today. That Cole was finally revealing what their problem was. Now I knew towards the end of the series, and I know Tisha Campbell Martin, ironic, isn't it? Her last name's Martin, her married name, and that they fell out, and she actually left the show. I do remember that, but I didn't know that Cole and Martin Lawrence, that they were, as we say, they wasn't setting horses. Had y'all heard that? I had not heard that. Very interesting. I had not heard that at all. If you go to my blog page at krb.com, there's a video I'll link you to of Brandy. Her daughter's name Sarai or Saray. Apparently she's 13 now. Boy, where'd the time go? But apparently her daughter can sing a little bit. So it looks like there's going to be another performer in the family. And you can see a video of her singing. She sounds very, very nice if you want to see that. I feel so bad for Robbie Montgomery from Welcome to Sweetie Pies. Her 21-year-old grandson shot. That wasn't supposed to be. When you're 21, you ain't supposed to die from getting shot. It's not supposed to happen. No matter who you are. Nobody's supposed to die from getting shot, period. But when you're 21, you ain't supposed to die of nothing. You got your whole life to live. And here he was snuffed out at the hands of a murderer, a gunshot wound. And she says that she believes that Andre was in fact set up. Thoughts and prayers, man. That's just one of those things that you just hate to hear about anybody. I mean, I've met Miss Robbie. I've talked with Miss Robbie and Tim. I've never had the privilege of meeting Andre. Obviously, I won't now. He's gone. But you just don't want that to happen to anybody. Strangers or not, nobody should get shot. Here in Dallas, they was saying the police officer got shot yesterday in Fort Worth. And this dude, he took some bullets. And he's still alive. But he took some fire. And apparently the suspects were a father-son duo, a senior and junior, that shot this police officer. That is just, wow. A father-son. Wow. A father and son. And they say that the shootout was a lot longer than your typical shootout. They say the typical shootout is about like 6 bullets. And they say this one went on significantly longer. I don't know, man. I don't know. I fell asleep before I could find out who actually who won Missouri. Did Ted Cruz win or did Donald Trump win? Do you guys know? I'm sure you guys know. Y'all are there if you were watching in St. Louis or in Missouri somewhere. Don't know exactly who won. Trump won? Okay, Trump won. Yeah, that's all right. What are you going to do? So it was close, though. For a while, it was bouncing back and forth. I know because we were watching Brain Games on Netflix, me and Maria and my wife, and then it was on the computer on CNN. And they were going back and forth. And did Hillary won Missouri, right? Because I think it's getting to be a long shot for Bernie Sanders, who I think would make a fine president, and of course, President Obama nominated his Supreme Court Justice, and his name, I wrote it down, is Merrick Garland. Never saw a white guy named Merrick. But okay, I've known a few Merricks, but they were all African American. He's 63 years old. Hillary won in St. Louis. Okay, that probably was what carried the state for her then, because, my understanding was Hillary was winning St. Louis and Bernie was winning the Kansas City Metro, right? That's what I heard. And he's also winning Jefferson City, that whole Springfield, that whole area. He was winning that too. So what I read, I don't know what the final thing was on that. So, but the president's choice for Merrick Garland to be to replace Justice Scalia, who passed of a heart attack some weeks ago, say it's going to be. Thank you so much. I am correct. I can go to the bonus round. that the president's nomination, Merrick Garland for Supreme Court, is going to be held up because of politics. Because the Republicans don't want to confirm an Obama nominee when the White House is getting ready to be up for grabs. He is one of the oldest nominees ever. He's a Chief Justice of the U.S. Court of Appeals in Washington, been there the last 18 years. So he used to be a top federal prosecutor, and we'll see, you know. Remember, it was a few weeks ago they were saying that President Obama would make a great Supreme Court justice? Do you think he wants any more of that? Do you think I think he's had his fill of government service. He might want to go back to the grassroots thing because, man, you see what 8 years. Hey, from Houston, how's it going? I'm headed that way on Friday. I'm going to pass through Houston and go to Galveston. I think the president, the way it aged him over the last 8 years, I think he's pretty much had enough of high-level government politics, don't you? I kind of think that he has. That's. I mean, he's still a good-looking man, don't get me wrong, but boy, that job will age you. Can you imagine that if I were president with my hair this color, what I would be like in 8 years? I'd be bald. I'd be completely bald. I'm just saying, that would be just nuts. But it is what it is, what it is. So, what does that say, clowning? Growing? I can't see that. God, my vision. You know what? I'll be real honest with you. And I'm not putting the blame on anybody or any company, but my vision has gotten worse since I rode that roller coaster. I'm serious. It has gotten worse since I got on this roller coaster. I don't know why. You know, let me put my glasses on and see if I can see what's being on Periscope with the comments that are, let's see, your hair will be glowing. Oh, okay, glowing. My hair will be glowing. Well, that's not a bad thing. I had a complete stranger today, a lovely woman, tell me that she loved my hair. And then when I went to get weighed in at the weight loss place, a woman there remarked about my hair. So, you know, AJ always says, you have Bible hair, Dad. You don't have good hair or bad hair. You have Bible hair. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. I have no idea. No earthly. I have no earthly. Well, all right then. So, anyway, that's the deal there. So, if you hadn't heard, if you're into gospel music, Daryl Coley has died. He was a gospel great. Passed away at 60. He had been in hospice the last few days. And it's very interesting how, and some of you guys heard me speak about this when I was doing the entertainment news segment, Tony's Tea, that Foxy Brown says the media goes again. I said I admire Donald Trump's tenacity. You know, I'm paraphrasing here, but how did that turn into I'm endorsing Donald Trump for president? And you know what? I got to put that on the media because I don't even think Donald Trump would even give a damn whether he got an endorsement for Foxy Brown or not. You know, I mean, she's been out of the limelight for many years. So I don't even think he even knows who that is. so I put that one on the media, you know. But the media, see, we think of the media, we think of CNN and ABC, and that goes way deeper than that now. Media is actually considered, you know, garbage sites like Media Takeout, stuff like that. That's all part of the media now. There should be level 1 media, level 2 media, level 3 media, you know. Any news site, when I go to your website, and my browser says you shouldn't go to this website, I can't consider you the media. You ever got one of those before? If you ever got one of those, what are you saying here? Let's see. Scoop me up on your way to Galveston. You live right next to 45? Yeah, I'm going down to 45. Yeah, it's going to be nice. Can't wait to see Mom. I think we're going out for seafood. And I'll have baked. But I will. Anyway, so yeah. Yeah, man. Hit that road. So I was talking to a friend of mine who says that he has a buddy of his who just started seeing this woman. And, you know, everything seems to be going good. But this woman her best friend is like a guy who, you know, has the body of like Shamar Moore circa mid-90s, you know, and he's got he looks like Morse Chestnut. I mean, he just got all this Suave Bolo stuff working for him. And, but he's having a hard time because her best friend is this guy, this trainer, who's in great shape and is handsome and all this stuff like that. He's having a hard time with it. And she's told him, look, him and I have never even resembled being an item. We've been friends since high school, best friends since high school. So there's never been anything between us, nothing even close has even ever happened. So I'm wondering, could you handle something like that? Do you think you could handle something like that? Of your mate having a best friend who was a knockout and happened to be of the same gender you are? Could you handle it? I think at this point in my life, I'd be fine with it. At this point in my life, I'm pretty secure. And obviously, I mean, and it's interesting because you could handle it. Good for you. I was talking to a woman earlier, and she said she couldn't handle it. I said, so you have trust issues? She goes, no, I trust my man. I just don't trust the woman. I'm like, but if you trust your man, that's enough. She goes, no, it's not. I'm like, it's supposed to be. If you could trust your man, that should be the end of it. If you trust your man, nothing goes. You trust your man to shut down anybody who comes at him from that angle. You trust your man to shut it down. Doesn't matter what the woman does. Doesn't matter what the woman does. If you trust your man like you say you do, that should be the end. Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, tell me. But I just don't think that makes any sense at all. You trust your man, but you don't trust the woman. Well, that's irrelevant. You trust your man, end of story. You trust your woman, end of story. That should be it, right? Isn't that how that should work? In my mind, that's how it works. But what do I know? I haven't dated in, good Lord. When was the last time I did something like that? It's been a while. But, and I'm pretty confident, God forbid anything ever happened to my wife, because I would be devastated. But I think I'm good. I think I'm going to go the rest of the way on the solo tip, not even trip. I'm good. I'm just going to enjoy life. No, I'm not going to be lonely. And, it doesn't bother me to be alone. It doesn't bother me to do nothing. I'm good with all that. So, yeah, I mean, it'd be like Joseph in the Bible. Yes, love you too. Appreciate that. But yeah, so I just don't understand how a woman can say, even a man, but this conversation I had with a woman says that she trusts her man, she don't trust the woman, so it would be an issue for her. Yeah, but you know what? You get someone who is like laser focused on a relationship, you ain't got to worry about nothing. You ain't got to worry about nothing, right? Right? My wife's in St. Louis most of the time, and I don't even think in those terms. All I think about is taking care of her and the girls. That's all I think about. I don't care about no other woman. God bless you. You're beautiful and all that stuff like that. But yeah, you know what? What's for me is for me. What's for me is for me. And what is for her is for her. Talking about another woman. I don't need all that. I'm just saying. I got to go. I wish we could have more of this conversation, but I got to give away these tickets. So I'll say goodbye to Facebook. And thanks so much, YouTube.